It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four and invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep us showing up to witness. Fit the tricks, equips, and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James McQuigger. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize a vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave and feeling charged. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good Friday morning. We made it, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is May 30th, almost June, Jesus criminy. May 30th, 2025, episode 888 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, as always, Dr. Gerald Auger, coming in with the heat this morning on this Friday. Got a big old cup of coffee, a big old pot of coffee over there to keep this thing fresh and hot. Over the next hour, me, you, Senfilist, Augusta Delgado, Jenny Housley, Haircut Fish, James Udacudo, Carrie, Age Tinsdale, Julio Alacron, James Bender, Devin Grady, of course, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet with his jokes of the day, Space Tacos. Guys, we're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be doing everything in my power to basically data mine these stories for additional value. Yes, it's important to know that, this Microsoft patch could cause a problem, but what does that mean for vulnerability management at scale? What does that mean for GRC people and how they should be engaging and discussing? What does it mean about talking to help desk and forging relationships over there so you can make sure that when they get blown up on Patch Tuesday, you're there lockstep with them on what to do. So this is what we do every single day, leveling you up as a practitioner, both tactically. Oh my God. Yep. If chat's flowing, you can stop the chat and scroll it. It's absolutely in your control. Take advantage of the power of the Chrome. Listen, guys, I got to tell you, tactical value, strategic value, operational value, value for days. And also, if you're not a practitioner, let you know fully that, guys, if you're looking to break into the industry, if you're looking to make that pivot from your current career into cybersecurity, this show is going to add mad value. Whether you're a longtime cyber practitioner or your first job is around the corner, you're going to be asked, how do you stay current on this industry? The daily cyber threat brief, keyword daily, is a phenomenal answer there. A lot of people are like, how can you do a show every single day? That's bananas city. And I'm like, guys, this is what practitioners do. I just happen to turn the camera on. That's basically it. So doing the live stream, high-fiving with everybody just enriches the experience for me. Now, I want you to know of the 8 stories we're going to be covering, a little bit of a production note. Of the 8 stories we're going to be covering, I have not researched and prepped any of them. I did see the headline on the Windows Update one, which is why I was able to make that reference. Also, there's a story in today's news that was actually covered in yesterday's news. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the red card out on that one for you soccer, a.k.a. football fans, and let you know that I'm pulling the red card on that story, and we will be replacing it with a community-selected story. But you know why I don't research or prep?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Every single one of you professionals in this chat right now who consumes RSS feeds, newsletter, Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast, Stormcast, whatever it is you're doing, you don't research before you do this, listen to the friggin' podcast or something like that, right? So we're authentic, we're genuine, we're doing what we're doing here. Now, I want you to know if today is your first day, okay, it's not AB's first day, it's not Phil Stafford's not first day, it's not Zemif's first day. If today's your first day, don't feel intimidated. That's the opposite of what we want here. We want you to feel welcome. We want you to feel like you have space here and you're included. So if it's your first time, please identify with a hashtag first timer in chat. So go into chat, type into the little chat bubble, hashtag first timer, the actual shift 8 key or shift 3. Shift 3, pound, hashtag, whatever you want to call it, the tic-tac-toe. I recently heard a 9-year-old call it the tic-tac-toe symbol. Go ahead, do that, first timer. We have a special sound effect, a special emote for you. All right, so we'll welcome you with open arms, my friends. Now, each episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is sponsored, very, very grateful for that, from some wonderful partners that I am very happy to call. Great companies, great partners. I work with many of the people who work and own these companies, so I stand by them, guys. Let's talk about Antisyphon training. I did get the URL fixed in the show notes. Antisyphon training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing cutting-edge quality education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring cutting-edge training with industry professionals to you at a fraction of the cost. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out the links in the description below, and consider submitting your first talk. If you haven't spoken at conferences, it's so valuable. Go and consider submitting your first talk at Blue Team Summit. It's a virtual summit. June 15th is the cutout. It is very new speaker friendly. Blue Team Summit. Please, I actually made a video the other day. I'm so passionate and so strong about this. I literally made a video the other day on the channel on how to write your first CFP and submit it for your first talk. Let me tell you about Flare Academy also, guys. Flare Academy, link in the description below. Flare Academy is the training arm, I guess you want to call it. It's not even really a training. It's more of like a community service of Flare.io, the cyber threat intelligence platform. Monthly, if not multiple times a month, Flare Academy is bringing industry professionals to you to give long-form educational talks on specific topics. June 4th, next week, Tammy Harper, who is a, very well versed in the dark web ransomware ecosystem, is going to be giving a talk. It's basically ransomware ecosystem 101. I'm assuming there's no prerequisite knowledge. There's no gatekeeping here. If you would like to be unbelievable in either a job interview where you're going deep when they're like, oh, what would you do if we found ransomware somewhere? You could go all the way through talking about the negotiations, talking about the dark web interactions, the affiliate programs, the indicators of ransomware compromise that are there before your files get encrypted, data exfil, how the threat actors' cryptocurrency transactions work. Like, you might even run into a situation where the interviewers are like, enough, we would like to get to other questions, and you're blowing our mind. We clearly get it. You know what you're talking about, right? So go use the link in the description below for Flare Academy. I think it's simply cyber.io/Flare, but go check that out. Dude, the value train keeps on coming with Barricade Cyber, guys. This one is no-brainer. Fortify 365 from Barricade Cyber. I don't know if your Microsoft 365 is secure. If you think it is, hope is not a strategy. If you've configured it, awesome. But if you haven't, consider looking at Fortify 365 from Barricade Cyber Solutions. Their team of experts implements proven security standards to protect your business from cyber threats ensure compliance, and safeguard your sensitive data. And they've helped countless organizations, including one that I was responsible for information security at, strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that address real-world vulnerabilities. Do not wait until after a breach. That's the worst time to start figuring out how to configure your security. Visit Fortify365.com. That's Fortify365.com today to learn how the team at Barricade Cyber can hook you up. Now, let me tell you guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE, which is very, very easy. All you got to do is say, "What's up" in chat. It appears here. Grab a screenshot. Ooh, right beneath me, it says half a CPE. Even better. The name of the show says May 30th, Top Cyber News Now. Grab all of that in a screenshot, and once a day, once an episode, file it away. It takes you 2 seconds. No big deal. And then once a year, count them up. You can get up to 120 CPEs. That's 240 episodes. I'm here. The mod team's here. All of you are here every day. You might as well get credit for it. And if you don't use it, you don't use it. But guess what? It's nice to have it all the same. All right, guys, let's just hear really quick from Threat Locker, and then we're going to dive headfirst into the news. Let's go. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is James McQuiggan Dad Jokes of the Week. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. The same James McQuiggan who just dropped a 10 spot on the squad. Team SC, if you are one of the recipients like Chuckles, Ashlyn Matthews, Christy Mejia, if you're one of those people like Gamer Dog Dad who just got a squad membership, first of all, welcome to the squad. Second of all, enjoy that emote tray. Go ahead and click down in YouTube, click in that YouTube chat, and you'll see all of a sudden you've got new emotes. Those are compliments of this guy on stage right here, one James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. We do call him James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet because he flies so much for work. I think Delta had to create a new category for him. So there's like gold, platinum, diamond, and then there's James. And yeah, I mean, you can't even, like when he registers for a flight, they're just like, any seat you want, James. You want to sit in the cockpit? No problem. You want to sit in the flight attendant jump seat? Sure, get in here. You want to go under the plane with the luggage? Why not? It's your choice, James. You're at 35,000 feet. All right, guys, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over all of us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, May 30th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Windows 11 might fail to start after installing this month's update, says Microsoft. Microsoft has confirmed that the KB 505-8405 update for Windows 11 may cause startup failures on some systems, particularly in enterprise environments. Affected devices display an error related to ACPI.sys, which is a key driver for power and device management. The issue primarily impacts Windows 11 22H2 and 23H2 running on Azure Virtual Machines, Azure Virtual Desktop, and virtual machines hosted on Citrix or Hyper-V. Home users are unlikely to be affected.
Okay.
Microsoft is...
All right, so they said home users are likely to be impacted. Hey, Witherspoon. I don't know why they're... I mean, whatever. Maybe I'm an idiot. Like, the difference between home users and enterprise users, if you're using... Like, I guess I'm not technically a home user. So if they're talking about Windows 11 Home versus Windows 11 Professional. That I can understand, but they didn't say professional. They just said Windows 11, and then they said enterprise users. So let's assume it's Windows 11 Pro versus Home. The one thing I want to point out really quickly, yes, this could suck. You could lose, basically it sounds like you could lose everything because it'll just fail to restart. I personally, the reason I even knew about this particular story was because when I brought up the news this morning, I saw this title and I was like, oh, like I know I have an outstanding patch waiting on my workstations here at the studio. Let me check. And I'm currently waiting on 24H2 Windows 11 24H2. This is not that same patch. I want to call your attention at this, everybody. This will affect users who are running 22H2 and 23H2. Just so you guys know that Microsoft switched to this naming convention, I think back in like 2020. But basically, instead of these like constant whack-a-mole chasing patches and stuff like that, they started to go with more of an Apple kind of Apple OS approach or Mac OS X approach with these roll-ups. So it's the year and then it's the 6-month window. So 22H2 is 2022 June to December patches. Same for 23H2. That's 2023 second half of H2. So there's only going to be a double-digit number and then H1 or H2, just so we're all understanding what the naming convention here is. So what they're saying is if you apply this patch and you're running a version of Microsoft operating system that hasn't been updated since 2022, you could be impacted. Bruh, what are you doing? It's 2025. Can we talk? Can we talk? Yeah, I get it. Casually Joseph's mocking me for being an end user and not patching on Patch Tuesday. Here's the deal. I have gotten away from patching immediately on Patch Tuesday since I can't do concentric circle vulnerability management just for lack of hardware. I live in prod, I test in prod, I dev in prod. I don't have an option. So what I do is I let I've accepted from a GRC perspective. I've accepted the residual risk of allowing patches to go a week or two and see if anything explodes, and then I patch. So I'm, for better or worse, I am turning into an end user. Okay, so here's the deal. For most of us who are living in an actual normal environment that keeps things updated, this will not impact you. If you have special systems that haven't been patched since 2022, you aren't going to apply this patch anyways. Just saying. Oh my God, 24H2 came out last year. That's true. I don't know. Listen, hold on. I guess we're having couples therapy right now between me and Joseph. This patch did not appear in my tray. I check every 2 weeks for updates. There's no way that this patch has been sitting here for months. I promise you. I agree with you. The naming convention would suggest it's months old, but I don't know. I'm going to plead the fifth on this one or plead ignorance. Hold on. I'm just now, like, seriously. Like, hold on. Like, allow me in my best Jay-Z here. Oh, it's because it's a features update. That's why. I have a features update, not a security update. I'm dropping evidence right now to Casually Joseph with screenshots. Like I'm being audited by this guy. Dude, he's a cyber threat intelligence person. He's a SecOps analyst. Coming at me for GRC and my vulnerability management? All right, guys, so here's the deal. Stay patched. If you have any concern about this impacting your environment, take a backup image of your system if you can. Obviously, business continuity is always important. And like everything else, guys, whenever you're doing vulnerability management, if you're in a decent-sized enterprise, so not a small one-person business, you do want to patch in concentric circles. So patch IT first, let them sort it out, power users, then champions out in the environment, and then go ahead and push wide. And then even, hey, here you go. When you do roll patches out like this patch right here, I want you to know you're still going to miss 20% of people because not everybody is going to be connected to the mothership. Some people have machines turned off. Some people are on extended sabbatical vacations. Some people are sales engineers and like basically never check in, those type of things. So just good to know. Patches aren't perfect. Here we go. Also, hold on. I might have an update. I may have just said something incorrectly. So hold on. Hold on. I may have actually just said something incorrectly, and I'm trying to get a fact check on this because I don't want to lead anyone here astray. I'm doing Microsoft patch naming convention explained. All right, so yeah, the KB, obviously we know what the KB is. So there's a discussion here in mod chat that the H in the patch name 23H2, right, is actually indicating that it's a feature, which, like, nice job, Microsoft. If H is short for feature, I'm not quite sure how you get to that connection, but I always thought the H was the which half of the year the roll-up applied to. So let us know. I guess Casually Joseph hasn't replied yet, so thanks, Becky Gaylord. I appreciate it. Hey, let me know in chat whether it's Casually Joseph or someone else. I was fully under the impression that the H meant which half of the year it rolled to. I know we do Patch Tuesdays, but these H ones are roll-ups. So let me know. I'm trying to get confirmation for you guys because this could be a big deal. I could be living a lie right now. All right, let's continue to move on, and we will revisit this throughout the show.
Currently investigating the problem and will provide further updates as available. Victoria's Secret website goes offline.
All right, so people are agreeing with me that the H is half. Okay, so I guess Casually Joseph is claiming that Discord Markdown language messed him up and screwed up what he typed. Claiming, but basically the H is, I was correct, the H is actually which half of the year. And I guess there's like, there's something about the naming convention that will tell you what the F, what feature, which one's features, I don't know, whatever. TLDR. Yeah, thank you. So Carrie's got it spelled out perfectly. 22H2 reverts the second half of 22. Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, TLDR, this particular story is unlikely to affect most people who are running like normal environments, right? Like, it's only when you've got special systems that aren't going to be updated, or you're like Bernie Madoff running some type of old antiquated piece of software under your desk to do a Ponzi scheme. Well, guess what? They're not applying patches in the first place. I guess my thing is, if your machine is 22H2 right now, chances are you're not applying patches anyway, so you're not going to get impacted by this. It's a pretty small Venn diagram intersection where someone's going to get screwed over here.
Following cyber attack. The lingerie retailer's site remains down as of this recording. This is the latest in a string of attacks on consumer-focused retailers such as Marks & Spencer, Co-op, Harrods, and Adidas. There are a few details available on the cause of this specific attack, but disruptions of this type are consistent with a ransomware response. The physical retail stores under the Victoria's Secret and Pink brands remain open.
That's right. If you need something for someone special or for yourself, that is sold at Victoria's Secret, you can go down to the old brick and mortar. You can head on down to the Taunton Galleria and scoop up something at the mall. So you Gen Zs, the mall used to be this basically uber glorified inside strip mall where people would congregate. Ices and Slurpees would be had. The roly-boly person was walking around with a tray of num-nums. There would be an arcade, which was basically before people could afford Xboxes and stuff, you would actually go to an arcade and pump quarters into it. And there'd always be a Victoria's Secret downstairs, maybe next to a Hollister or an Abercrombie and Fitch. Their website's down though. So if you shop like most people do in 2025 and you need to get some things, not going to happen. We did confirm this yesterday on stream live. I think it was Roswell UK told us that this was down. Dude, TLDR, if you work in retail, you got to be on the ready to recover. Dude, whether it's Victoria's Secret, Hyde and Spencer, Amazon.com, friggin' Billy Bob Joe's cake factory that you can only order through online, whatever, Netflix. If your business does business, if you generate revenue and process transactions and deliver on services through the web, whether it's a website like a storefront website, or it's like a streaming service like Netflix, or it's anything, okay, you should be fully prepared to have a business continuity plan to deliver on mission critical operations in the event that your main production site gets screwed. All right. That's it. Now, I will tell you, so Simply Cyber Academy is hosted on Teachable. I depend on Teachable to have that resiliency. I can't stand up a separate, online school, right? I use Platform as a Service. That's part of the extension. Platform as a Service cloud, they're responsible for that recovery, right? Now, if the education, the content in the school gets deleted by, me or someone else, then yes, we have processes in place to recover that. But that's the split model in cloud of who's responsible for what. Go look at there's like a really great graphic. I love this graphic. It's in a lot of my classes. Look at this. I love this one right here. This is OG, yo. When you're talking cloud, this is who it is. On-site, that's on-prem, that's traditional. SaaS is basically like Gmail, right, or whatever. And even that, guys, it says like SaaS. It has the data layer as responsible for them. There is an extra layer above this that is always going to be yours, and that's the data you generated. So, like, if you delete your email, right, like that's not the cloud platform's problem. But as you can see, PaaS is where Teachable is, that third from the right one. That's PaaS. Teachable's that way. YouTube, so I stream on YouTube. Here we go, right? So you got to make sure that you have an ability to deliver on your services, right? So this show is sponsored, right? So if I don't do the show tomorrow, Monday, then the sponsors are going to be like shaking a fist at me. So we would stream, find a different method, which we do from time to time. So come on now. Yes, actually, Tech Grunt, you know what? I will allow it, Tech Grunt, because this is a good one. I pull this one up all the time. Joseph, get ready to swoon. Oh, so good. Let it go. Let it go. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep cracking, y'all.
Billions of stolen cookies remain available, worrying security experts. Almost 94 billion stolen cookies remain for sale on dark web and Telegram-based marketplaces, and between 7 and 9% of these, which is approximately 1.2 billion of them, are active and exploitable, says NordVPN. Adrianus Wormenhoven, who is cybersecurity advisor at NordVPN, said, quote, "Cookies may seem harmless, but in the wrong hands, they are digital keys to our most private information." He continues, "What was designed to enhance convenience is now a growing vulnerability exploited by cybercriminals worldwide," end quote. He further describes a stolen cookie as being just as dangerous as a password. Think twice before accepting cookies, he suggests.
Well, that's interesting.
China.
All right, hold on. I was too busy getting Cookie Monster on stage here. Cookie Monster. You know what? I feel like even though Sesame Street's kind of fallen off a little bit, Cookie Monster is ubiquitous and eternal. Even Big Bird's kind of taken a backseat. So let's look down. Law enforcement. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, billions of cookies. Guys, here's the deal. This story, to me, this is like, I don't want to sound cynical, but like, Yeah, dude, Luma Info Stealer was just an unbelievable rash that a lot of people were having to deal with last week, right? Info Stealers, Raccoon Info Stealer, Redline Info Stealer a few years ago, Luma, dude, Choose Your Own Adventure Stealer. Dude, stealers are all over the place. Identity is the new perimeter, right? To steal a corporate buzz slang logo, slogan thing, whatever. Zero Trust Architecture's marching cry. Identity's the new perimeter. Cookies, num 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 num, right? Session tokens, cookies, these type of artifacts can help a threat actor, authenticate at. Oh my God, Callan. Can help him. Jesus, can help threat actors authenticate and access your resources. Now, cookies can contain things like email addresses, location, password, phone number. Well, actually, no, it can't. Oh my God. So they're saying if you get that from a cyber kill chain perspective, you could deliver targeted ads, which then could allow you to access data, which could include things like passwords, phone numbers, genders. This is going from like, oh, we've got your cookie to, oh, we've compromised an asset you had access to. So it's not like they get a cookie and all of a sudden they have your password and phone number. That's kind of misleading. Guys, this is a whole thing, right? From FBI-led Sesame Street-inspired takedowns of stolen marketplaces, cyber criminals are taking the cookies and posing as other web pages to authenticate into services without the need for creds. Yes. So here's the deal, guys. Cookies are a thing. Until we figure something else out, it is problematic. You've got to have EDR solutions on your endpoints. You've got to educate your end users not to fall for things. If you can, get dynamically updated, DNS resolvers and firewalls that can prevent users from going to lookalike websites that have been stood up by criminals purporting to be something that's not, so they can steal your creds. Misleading fake apps that look like something and they're Trojanized versions. There's a bunch of different tools and techniques in the threat actor's playbook. So getting the cookies can happen many ways. One thing that I would want to point out, again, they are a sponsor, but it's Flare Academy that they're a sponsor for. Flare.io, you can't really use this product without going through some sign up, because this Flare.io product would be absolutely too powerful for a criminal to use. So they do screen their people to make sure that they are legit. But this platform, super awesome. And if you wanted to find out who in your environment, what end users you have, what endpoints you have, like computers that have been compromised by info stealers or on the dark web, that's what Flare.io does. Again, I have a video on the channel about this platform. I really like it. Even if they weren't a sponsor, I would tell you, I really like it. I think it's one of the best, most intuitive interfaces I've done for kind of combing through dark web stuff. Anyways, TLDR, law enforcement's working on it, but it's still very, very successful piece of information for threat actors, so they're going to continue to steal it.
Linked hackers attack governments through Google Calendar. A report released this week by Google describes a sophisticated campaign conducted by APT41 that targets foreign governments as well as organizations in sectors such as logistics, media, automobiles, and technology. In short, this attack, which starts with a spear phishing email, launches a malware strain named Tough Progress, which deploys payloads that operate entirely in a device's memory to evade detection.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry to interrupt the China Link hack story. Haircut Fish, a.k.a. Dan Reardon, a.k.a. the Meme Master, he did a talk yesterday on business email compromise, which was designed for end users, if I'm not mistaken, right, Dan? Corporate end users. And he covers how threat actors use MFA session tokens to bypass MFA. So, holler, Haircut Fish. And he might be making that deck available.
Uses Google Calendar for command and control by creating events on selected dates, one of which being May 30th, 2023, and embedding stolen encrypted data into the description panels of these events.
All right, so this is clever. I do love, memory and malware is so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right
Dude,
now.
I got to tell you right now, this is one of those times, okay? I am not going to ever support a threat actor. I'm not ever going to encourage you guys to commit crime. But every once in a while, I like hat tip. Like, it's like looking at your adversary across the field and being like, respect. Dude, they're embedding in the description field of Google Calendar invites, I think payloads? What are we doing here? APT-41, which is, they call them Brass Typhoon, Wicked Panda, Red Golf, whatever you want. APT-41 is what they've been known, the OG name, if you will. And I think they are one of the top tier nation state threat actors, right? Daniel Lowry's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this guy. Looking svelte today. Daniel Lowry with your Monster Energy drink. All right. Of course, China's APT-41. They're not wasting APT-41's skill set on mugging food trucks. You know what I mean? Like, you don't call out, you don't put a tuxedo on to go check the mail if you're picking up what I'm putting down, right? APT-41, they're big time, so you use them on big time engagements. They go after foreign governments, organizations in sectors like logistics, media, automobile, and tech, right? Big money, big espionage. Let's see what happens here. So they spearfish somebody, which is super easy. I'm actually giving a talk to the state of Georgia next week. All the CIOs for the different state agencies in Georgia I'll be speaking to, or 2 weeks from now. And I actually, in my talk, was like, how would I attack the state of Georgia? And I like do a bunch of screenshots. I'm actually thinking about pulling it because like I find emails and then trace it to people's businesses and just like, I'm like, this is and then I know their birthdays. I'm like, oh, I would send you like a happy birthday. You've like, we would love to offer you 2 tickets to the Masters in Augusta next April. Click here to receive your prize. All right. Last thing you want to do is be put on a watch list or something but you send a spearphishing email out, which then has a malicious zip archive. So click here to get whatever you need. What's interesting here, again, I'm walking through the threat actor's workflow, and I want to call out some specific things here. Number one, they send a spearphishing email. So it's an email from me to Daniel Lowry. Dear Daniel, I'm a government official, right? They've hijacked a government website. So you would assume that the URL that they're sending you to looks official. So when you look at where this malicious zip archive is, it's coming from a .gov website. So, hey, Daniel, your taxes are due, or you screwed up your taxes in April. Click here. And it's like florida.irs.gov or what, picking up what I'm putting down, right? So it looks legit. So they're going to click on it. It's got a PDF file in it, right? So that doesn't seem too dodgy. Although it has an image of insects, which is weird. And then once you open the PDF, it launches malware. Now, I don't know how malware is being detonated with PDF. I know. So Daniel Lowry says, I just click the link and download the attachment. He does, but in full disclosure, he's probably in a sandbox wearing a white lab coat about to do some analysis. I don't know how a PDF... Here's my thing. I don't see how a PDF detonates malware unless you're exploiting the PDF reader itself. Correct me if I'm wrong. You team SC mods, you can't run macro code in PDF, right? There's no detonation or execution engine in PDF that I know of, like the native file format. You would need the reader to do it, right? So this malware, however it detonates, uses Google Calendar for C2, and it creates an event dated May 30th, 2023, and puts the data encrypted in the events and description. So, yeah, I said this the other day. Mike Saunders told me this one time. If you can put any data anywhere and send it, that's a C2. It doesn't have to be something cool. It doesn't have to be a Cobalt Strike, a Sliver, an Empire instance. Ooh, I've got covert channels. I'm embedding things. Ooh, no. Like, dude, you can send it on DNS. You can send it to Dropbox, Telegram, Slack, Discord, whatever you want. If you can send data out, it'll send. And what it's doing is it infects your machine, grabs a bunch of data, creates a calendar invite, sticks it in the description, and then emails it or invites the threat actor. Threat actor receives it, and boom, there's the payload sitting there right there. So this is pretty clever, and that's where the hat tip comes in. Hat tip to China for using Google Calendar descriptions as a delivery vehicle. I will point out really quickly, this is an incredibly easy thing for China to fix, but as of right now, go look at your calendar and see if you have a calendar event for May 30th, 2023, because that would be the indicator of compromise. Again, it's trivial to change the date because the date doesn't matter. They're picking something old so it doesn't show up on your calendar. Let's go.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero-trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and to start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com/CISO. That is THREATLOCKER.com/CISO.
All right. Hey, I'm getting some confirmations now. This is great information. Both Roswell UK and Casually Joseph are letting us know right now that in PDF, yes, you can exploit the reader itself, which is what I see more often than not, but you can include JavaScript, which can happen, although it's not common, okay? And inside the PDFs, there can be further phishing links. So like, which I could see that, right? It's oh, click here to go wherever, right? And I could even envision where it's a PDF and then it just says like, oh, you're missing a driver or you're missing a plugin to be able to see this part of the PDF. Click here to go get it. A social engineering technique, right? All right, let's go. All right. All right. Hey, guys, look at us just killing it on a Friday. Want to say shout out to all of you all. Hashtag Team SE. Thanks for being here. A special shout out to Callan. Give him the Ric Flair woo. Callan, kind of a low-key first-timer. Welcome to the party, pal. Devin Grady says celebrating this morning because he passed the PNPT. Holy Jesus, Devin Grady, the phenomenal job, man. Not an easy cert to pick up. Lovely. Love it, love it, love it. Shout out to the stream sponsors. Kenneth Lowy, almost 2 years, 23 months, big blue badge. Thanks so much for being a squad member. Love the support. I genuinely appreciate it. Guys, thanks to Barricade Cyber, Antisyphon, Flare, and ThreatLocker for sponsoring. Guys, every day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is James McQuiggan's Dad Jokes of the Week. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. No, I didn't see Zscaler bought Red Canary. That's interesting. That's interesting. Thank you for letting us know that, Elliot Matisse. All right, guys, get ready for some rib ticklers. Hey, Callan, get ready for some jokes that are Sigma or a 3000. Here we go. James McQuiggan, what do you call a bee born in May? What do you call a bee born in May? You call it a maybe. I don't know. Maybe. All right. What did the big flower say to the little flower? What did the big flower say to the little flower? Hey, bud. Hey, bud. How you doing? What's up, bud? Space Tacos, 2 years, just stomping mud holes in squad memberships. Love it. Thanks so much, Space Tacos. Honestly, Adrian, I can't believe it's been 2 years. Wow, time does fly. All right. Hey, what did Jerry say when he got hit in the head by a can of soda? Okay. What did Jerry say when he got hit in the head by a can of soda? Callan, what did I say when I got hit in the head by a can of soda? Don't worry, everybody. It didn't hurt. It was a soft drink. Ah! Oh my gosh. Okay. Don't worry, guys. I'm getting hit in the head with soft drinks. Now, guys, hey, here's something that everybody should know, okay? If you didn't know this, James, when he sends me the messages, he writes his jokes in all capitals. In these past few weeks, he wrote them in Barcelona, Athens, and Copenhagen. Ah! James McQuiggan's been jet-setting all over Europe like a boss, inspiring me for life goals. And the joke is, he writes his jokes in capitals, right? So he sends me all these jokes, but the capitals he's been in recently are Barcelona, Athens, and Copenhagen. Thank you so much, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Squad members, I hope you enjoy the weekly activities, the dailies, and certainly love the Friday. Do me a favor, get ready to feel good. Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off. Callan, get ready to lean back and forth and dance. We're going to get our la 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 la's on. You know the words. Let it wash over you in an awesome wave. Let's go. Oh, there's James McQuiggan himself. The comedian at 35,000 feet. Thanks, James. All right, everybody, let's finish strong. Remember, we got jaw jacking too.
New Windows rat hides by using corrupted DOS and PE headers. Researchers from Fortinet are describing a process by which malware works with corrupted DOS and PE headers. This refers to the disk operating system, DOS, and portable executable headers, which are essential parts of a Windows portable execution or PE file, providing information about the executable. The discovery was made on a single machine, and the remote access Trojan attack had allowed the threat actor to execute a batch of scripts and PowerShell to run the malware in a Windows process. Additional details about this attack technique are available at the Hacker News, and a link is provided in the show notes.
All right. Hey, FedEx down in Costa Rica. Nice, FedEx. Glad you got service down there to catch the show. All right. So check this out. Let's see. Corrupted DOS and PE headers. It's been a minute. So is the DOS header... So, like, obviously, I know the PE header. PE is portable executable. That is the file format for Windows binaries. It's very, if you ever want to get into real software exploitation and, you know, binary, like reversing and stuff, you really do need to understand the PE file format. As far as the DOS goes, though, I mean, I don't really... So in every PE file, there's a thing that says this cannot run in MS-DOS. I don't know if that is the... I don't even know if that's the what they're calling the DOS header or not. I'd be curious, but... or if they're talking about old DOS programs, which would be like... I don't even know, dude. Like, they got away from that in like Windows 3.1. Oh, sure. But anyways, the PE one definitely catches my my attention. Right. So yeah, the PE header contains the metadata and information necessary. So yes, exactly. So the PE header, first of all, if you're new to, like, even if you've been in information security for a few years and stuff, you may not be familiar with the PE header or PE file. Okay, it's like saying an ELF file in Linux. It is the binary, right? All right. All right. So they found a piece of malware that looks pretty advanced, and let's see. It was running malware in a Windows process. So okay. So here's a couple things. This is getting kind of deep right now. PowerShell is, you know, the Microsoft operating system language that allows you to do all sorts of stuff. and it's really designed for IT administration, but it can be weaponized. And if you're running malware in a Windows process, that means it's fileless malware. So when you have malware running in RAM, right, or running in memory, that is not the same as writing to disk. So this is called fileless malware, and it doesn't prevent it from being detected, but not writing it to disk can help protect it from being analyzed or discovered by anti-malware and EDR solutions, which is why the threat actors do it. On top of that, there's a technique called process hollowing, which is pretty cool. If you really want to get nerded out, go look up process hollowing. And this is where you basically, it's what it sounds like. The Windows process is running and you actually carve out a piece of memory inside of it that, you can, and then you execute the malware in there. So it appears to be the Windows process that it's inside of. Again, it's for avoiding detection by anti-malware solutions. Let's see. The security researchers did a full memory dump. Okay, that's definitely, you can't hide it, right? So if you're in memory executing malware and you dump all the memory, well, there you go. You can't hide that. As far as I know, there's no anti-analysis technique that can detect a memory dump's happening and wipe itself in time. All right, let's look at what we got here. Okay. So this looks like what program is this? Is this a hex edit or PE? What? Oh God, there's like, what are the PE? Oh God, there's so many like standard Windows apps. It's been a minute since I feel like Daniel Lowry should be able to jump on this one. PE Explorer, right? Is this PE Explorer? This is definitely a where is it? This is definitely a common one right here. No, this isn't Wireshark, Augusta Delgado. I mean, it kind of looks like IDA. It kind of looks like IDA, but I don't think it's IDA. Oh, is it? It could be. You know what would be nice? A freaking caption. I know I'm asking for too much. This is actually a dynamic analysis engine, because in the lower left corner of the screenshot it says paused, and this is a debugger. This is a debugger. So here's the thing: when you're doing analysis, if you're doing but hold on, IDA doesn't do dynamic analysis. Really quickly, when you're analyzing binaries, you can do it a couple different ways. There's static analysis, which is like where you take IDA and you shove the application in and you disassemble it, and you can look at it and do all these things. With dynamic analysis, you're actually running it. But when you have an analysis engine in it, like GCC, or there's another WinDebug, right? You can put in breakpoints, and you can like look at the values in registers. You can look at where instruction pointers are pointing, and you can control flow and stuff like that. So those are the two kind of Ollie debug. Yeah, X64 DBG, that could be it. Here, we'll save this as an exercise at the end, but yeah, this is kind of cool. Again, on the in the screenshot, it's kind of hard to see, but if you listen in audio, you'd have to go look at this. But you could see on the top left, this is memory with the execution, and it's calling some function call. But when you look at the actual memory down in the lower left, you could see in ASCII it says rushpapers.com. So that is the C2 domain that it's going to be reaching out to. And you can see it in the top right as well. It says rushpapers.com. So this is basically what analysis looks like. And I'll tell you right now, if you really want to, like, if this gets you excited, if this gets you all frothed up, go check out my friend. He doesn't really like he doesn't do enough public stuff. But my friend Josh Stroshine, is a boss. He goes by Cyber Yeti. He is a reverse engineer that works at Mandiant. His YouTube channel, he is so awesome. And I'll tell you what, like this screenshot right here, this is what he bathes in. This is like his aftershave right here. Go check this guy out. He's got look at him. He's got all sorts of videos on, debugging, IDA, assembly. This is definitely if what we just looked at gets you excited, then yes, you would love it. X64 debug. Let's take a look. There's no question to me. It's yeah, this is it right here. We've confirmed it. Thank you, Deb and Grady. So this is X64 debug. This is a dynamic analysis engine, a debugger. This is not IDA in any capacity. IDA is a static analysis engine.
New ASUS botnet.
We're going to skip this story.
ASUS
We're going to let him read it, but we covered this story yesterday, so no.
routers. Researchers from Grey Noise state that this botnet, spelled AYYSSHUSH, a play on the name along with SSH backdoor, has, quote, hacked more than 9,000 ASUS routers, adding a persistent SSH backdoor, end quote. The attackers, quote, avoid detection while keeping control even after reboots or updates. Though attribution remains unclear, the campaign shows signs of a skilled, well-funded adversary building a covert botnet infrastructure, they said. Additional details are available at the Grey Noise website, a link to which is available in the show notes.
All right, let's keep going.
Criminals target AI users with malware-loaded installers. Criminals are using fake installers for popular AI tools like ChatGPT and InVideo AI to spread ransomware and malware, including Cyberlock, Lucky Ghost, and a new strain called Numero. Cyberlock encrypts specific files, while Lucky Ghost is a variant of the Chaos ransomware series. Numero is particularly destructive, damaging Windows GUI components and rendering machines unusable. These fake tools target professionals in B2B sales and marketing where legitimate AI tools are widely used. One such fake site appears to impersonate the affiliate platform Nova Leads and uses SEO poisoning to boost its visibility and lure victims.
All right, I mean, I'll spend a minute on this, but like we've covered, this isn't a rehash of an old story like we just dealt with this one, but guys, this is like literally.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
This is so hot right now. Like, guys, right now, Google VO3 and similar platforms are so blistering hot because of how awesome they are, and threat actors are targeting them. And I got to tell you, you know who's particularly vulnerable? Salespeople. Salespeople are all greased up. Marketing people all greased up. Oh, look at the power of this thing. I can blow people's minds. I can make so much money. Let's go. And they're just clicking on all the things, installing all the things. And, SEO poisoning, that's nothing new. And that's basically just search engine optimization to get higher up in Google search rankings, etc. Yeah, this thing's hot right now. All you can do is educate your end users that friggin' these AI tools, yes, they're awesome. Don't be an idiot. Like normally I wouldn't be so judgmental and flippant, but right now we are losing a battle between speed of AI tools coming to market and us educating our end users. Like a tool comes out and immediately, like, it's like, oh, here's a new tool that does amazing things. Immediately, Carl is like the friggin' Google I/O conference isn't over yet. And they're like, install, right? So we actually have our work cut out for us to proactively educate our end users on risks like this. And then honestly, kind of get in front of the end user themselves. Do all the things that I always talk about. DNS resolution protection services to prevent going to malicious sites. EDR solutions to help them from installing stupid stuff. Network segmentation to limit the blast radius, which is harder. Data governance. Don't allow them access to things they shouldn't, right? Unfortunately, salespeople are going to have access to tons of communication lists, pricing information. Yeah, it's just yikes. But dude, I'm telling you, this is not going anywhere. If anything, this is going to excel. And this is not the fact that AI is growing and becoming a powerful tool. This is the fact that AI is very hot right now, and lots of people want to click and install and do things with AI. That's what the threat actors are preying on, the hotness of it. This would be like, just to have a stupid example, but I think it would really make the point. This right there is no different than in 2020, let's say March of 2020, when everybody's running to Costco and fighting each other for toilet paper. Imagine if cyber criminals were somehow able to embed malware into toilet paper. Again, I know that this is a stupid example because malware doesn't detonate in toilet paper, but get my point. People are all frothed up. They're not thinking. No one's pulling the toilet paper out and looking at it, making sure it doesn't have malware installed. They're just grabbing toilet paper, whipping it into their truck. I bought black market toilet paper. I've told this story multiple times. Do you know what I didn't do when I bought the black market toilet paper? Inspected it to see if it was 2-ply, 4-ply, 8-ply, whether there was all the rolls there or not. I just, give me that toilet paper, and I just run away because I'm having like a low-key illegal transaction in a vacant Sears parking lot at twilight. My point is, people aren't, their guards aren't up, their shields aren't up, all right? So in conclusion, don't download malware-laden toilet paper or AI tools.
Actors abuse Google Apps script in evasive phishing attacks. Cybercriminals are exploiting Google Apps script, a development platform within Google's ecosystem, to host convincing phishing pages that steal login credentials. According to security researchers at Cofense, the attack typically begins with an email posing as an invoice, which includes a link to a fake login page. The phishing site, designed to mimic legitimate login screens, is hosted within Google's trusted environment, making it appear more authentic to unsuspecting users. This tactic increases the likelihood that victims will enter sensitive information, thus falling for the scam. Cofense warns that this method leverages Google's credibility to bypass user suspicion.
Yeah. So, again, we educate our end users to look for domains that are dodgy. This one is hosted essentially on google.com because google.com allows you, it'd be no different than like forms.google.com or, mail.google.com, right? Like these software as a services that are hosted within the Google environment. Unfortunately, threat actors have figured out ways to generate malicious landing pages, lookalike resources, and they're firing those off. And the single thing that they're hoping is that a savvy end user, right, somebody that Joseph spent time educating, or Justin Gold, Justin Gold, before he leaves water and sewer, is walking around. He's like, listen, everybody, I got to tell you, before I get out of here and leave you, I'm going to leave you with this one piece of information. Look at the domain name. Don't fall for domains that are stupid. You will get tricked. Please, if it doesn't look right, it's a problem. And then this happens, and everybody's like, well, Justin left like 6 months ago, but this website says google.com, so I think we're good. And then everybody at Water's just like, oh, sensitive information, personal information inputs, and instantly pwned, okay? So you've got to educate your end users. Dudes, like, vigilance is important, all right? This is pretty savvy by the threat actors, though.
We've got a busy Friday of live...
We got a busy Friday here, too, for Jawjacking. Come at me, bro. All right, let's go. All right, guys, I hope you had a great stream. It is a Friday. This was episode 888 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be pivoting over to Jack. I got to see. Ugh, that one caught up on me. We're going to be going over to Jawjacking. Marcus Kyler's back. Welcome back, Marcus Kyler. Shout out to you. Guys, Jawjacking is a 30-minute, but usually on Fridays we go long. Ask me or ask the panel anything. It's all about good times. I hope everybody had a solid week. We're almost to the end. Weekend's around the corner. Holler at me. If you got to go, peace out, be well. Otherwise, stick around for Jawjacking. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next week at 8 a.m., Daily Cyber Threat Brief signing off. Let's go to Jawjacking. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Jawjacking. I'm your host, Jerry Guy, a rootin', tootin', six-shootin' Jerry Guy. Little Wild West action. I don't have a Monster Energy drink to pour, but I've got coffee for days, ladies and gentlemen. Got my French press, got my oversized cup of coffee. I'm going to do a, hey, Daniel Lowry, get ready to have this wash over you in an awesome wave. Huh? Not as fun as Monster, but... All right, guys, this is Jawjacking. This is your show. It's an AMA show. I can't mentor one-on-one, but I can mentor at scale, baby. Now, many of you might be coming from the Daily Cyber Threat Brief hosted by that nerd. Oh, my God. Calm down about your 24H2 patches, brother. Did you guys see Dr. Gerald Auger losing his cookies around... Oh, what kind of a dynamic analysis engine is this? Oh, is it Windebug? Ooh. Calm down, brother. Jesus, we're here to have fun. If Dr. Gerald Auger is the front of the mullet, Jerry Guy's the back. Party in the rear. Now, we're going to be joined by some people here on the panel. So let me go ahead and change my camera angle to make sure that the panel is at its fullest. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased. Been missing this guy in my life. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. You know him as the Stash. In and Out knows him as one of their best employees in history. Ladies and gentlemen, Wade Wells. Hi, Wade.
What's up? Oh my God, my hair. I look disheveled.
Oh, you're great. You look beautiful. You look like a SecOps analyst is what you look like.
So what's the story about black market toilet paper? You just buy toilet paper off Craigslist during
No,
COVID or
you didn't know?
something?
You never heard this story?
No.
Oh, yeah. So, peak pandemic when you couldn't get toilet paper from anywhere and there was some concerns. I had a buddy who was like, he worked in my information security office, but he had a second job just to kind of make ends meet or whatever. And he worked at a grocery store back in the supply. So he would take stuff off the truck and bring it to the front. So he would intercept toilet paper. And he was, he kind of had a side hustle, right? So, I met him in a Sears parking lot. He would only sell like one bundle of toilet paper per person, right? And I met up with him, just fired it in my truck, paid a bit of a premium. I think I paid 2x on price, but, it was a weird time, Wade. You were there. I mean, was California weird. Kind of a weird toilet paper situation?
I literally went to Costco at the very, very last minute, like when it was like I was in line for Costco for like an hour and a half.
Oh God!
And stocked up and didn't have to go. My dad just got a hose, so he's like, we don't need toilet paper.
Yeah, your dad's I like to think of your dad lives in like a yurt, like on his own property.
That's pretty much similar to what it is. Yeah.
I love it. So Wade Wells is if you guys don't know this guy right here, he's co-host of the Simply Defensive podcast. He's also a detection engineer. He's a trainer for Antisyphon. He knows a lot of stuff on the blue side. He's also an unbelievable speaker and a really great person in general. So super happy to have you here. If anyone has a question, we might be joined by some others on the panel, but if you have any questions, certification related, career related, resource related, personal to some degree, get in here. I guess Wade has an echo. Is it? Oh, it must be because of my my friggin' here. Wade, can you talk? I'm gonna mute my microphone and just see if it fixes it. So Wade, what do you got going on coming up here that people should know about?
Yeah, I'm gonna be missing for 3 weeks, going to an undisclosed location. Ooh, I can still hear it. Even if you're muted, so it's me. Oh, so your technical difficulties, sound issues are always a thing. My next big thing is teaching for Antisyphon. I have my threat intel class coming up in August. Yeah. I may go to DEF CON. That's a big maybe not. I have no plans. I don't want to do any more like real public speaking or anything.
Like in general, you're burnt out on it, or
yeah, I don't want to. Like I have a talk in the chamber if anybody asks me. Like I didn't. I thought about throwing something in for the defense summit, but I just didn't want to do it. I was like, I'm good. The new job is burning me out. Not burning me out, but like taking all my cycles.
Okay, there you go. So being responsible. We are hearing that the echo's still happening. So Wade, I don't know if you've done anything to change your.
Yeah, I'll switch stuff around.
Yeah. Okay. So questions coming in. Some people said they like the echo. Let's see. Marcus Kyler just recently got married. He's in Cancun. You get some sun. Enjoy the drinks. Wade, when you go on like vacation, are you kind of the lay by the pool and drink drinks out of a coconut kind of guy? Or are you like a stay inside with like sunblock on? What are you doing? Oh, you're awfully muted right now. You have no sound now. Here, just keep working on it, and eventually I just want you to speak out loud. Just keep speaking out loud, and I'll let you know when we hear you. Are they good for worker bees? Are mullets good for worker bees? I don't know. Dude, I have seen this like low taper fade thing coming in. I've seen these mullets coming back. I don't know. I'm not super big fan of those haircuts. I just, whatever. I guess I'm old, and now I'm going to like shake my fist at clouds. Hey, Wade. Nope, we got no audio coming from Wade Wells. That's all right. If you have any questions for me or Wade, I can facilitate them to Wade, and then Wade can use me like a puppet, and I will speak. So Cyber Risk Witch asks, what hair gel do I use? I'm actually really, really pumped. Listen, for years and years and years, I had no clue about maintenance or whatever. And I have since been, brought into the light by my wife. Hold on one second. We got Wade Wells making another run at it. Wade.
Yeah, what hair gel do you use?
There we go.
I'm
Wade
still
Wells
echoing.
is in here. Let me know if there's an echo, y'all. All right, so this is what I like to use. I've tried multiple things. This, without a question, is what's up. Here, let me share my screen. Oh, my God. Dude, I hate websites that, like, you're, like, trying to look at something, and they're like, oh, let's do a splash page over it to let you know that you should sign up with email. I use American Crew matte clay, so let me go ahead and show it on stream. This is it right here, the orange bottle. This is it. I've been using this for years now, and that's it. So if you're interested in some hair product, giddy up on that. Looks like it's still echoing. This is what I use. Also, not to get into too much of like the treatment, Hydro Boost water gel. I've started again. I never thought I would get into like moisturizers and stuff like that. Not that I'm into them, but like this right here. Come on, give me a picture, internet. This right here. I use this stuff right here every day. Like my face looks healthy. Like the skin on my face looks healthy. So shout out to Mrs. Auger for helping me break through the I don't need moisturizer on my face. I'm tough. And then, like now that I have it, I'm like, oh my God, this is great. So
I don't believe in lotion.
No, there you go. I never put it on either, but I got to tell you, after you like, what's interesting is like I put it on for like I probably been using face moisturizer for like 9 months, and it was only like a month ago that I actually started noticing like a genuine change. So
long game.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever. What's your favorite breakfast cereal? Roswell, UK wants to know.
That's hard.
Are you more of a sugar cereal guy or more of a healthy cereal guy?
Oh, sugary. Like, who likes healthy cereal? And that's with, like, Honey Bunches of Oats.
Oh, my God.
Cocoa Krispies? Not Cocoa Krispies. Yeah, Cocoa Rice Krispies. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I guess I'm that nerd. I mean, Honey Bunches of Oats is really good. I do like that. I think that's a nice blend. Growing up, I was a Frosted Flakes kid. I think the marketing got me.
Raisin Bran. That sounds like something GRC people would eat.
Oh, what kind of glasses do you wear? So I actually, these are just like my fun nerd blue blocker glasses. I don't know what these are, but I actually recently got real glasses, and I went with Pumas, a blend of style and function. I was dude, buying glasses. You don't wear glasses, do you?
I don't, but I want to get prescription sunglasses.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I just
one of my eyes has a stigmatism. I forget what it is, but I'm paying a little bit extra for better eye vision because my wife is under my insurance now. And I was like, if I might as well use this and go get some like nice sunglasses for it. And I haven't yet. I've been too lazy.
Yeah. The price of glasses ranges wildly. Like these were like maybe $150, but they like at the place I was at, they had like Oliver People glasses for like $700. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like I lose sunglasses. I'm not gonna. I mean, okay.
My wife's vision got better this year, and because it got better, her insurance wouldn't cover her contacts. So it went from like $100 to like $700 for contacts.
Scout says, have you just started messing with meta AIs? Do you have any true agentic abilities, or are they all just generative? Have you been messing with AI in any capacity? I know we use AI, but have you been like,
I play around with it.
Doing research and kind of stuff?
I play around with it enough to give me like ideas for talks, to do research for me, like deep research. I have my one AI bot to like write the descriptions of my detections. Like when I say descriptions, it's like a 2,000 word document too. Besides that, I have been looking at MCP servers. I've been like watching them to see how it works out, but I haven't been able to put anything in motion yet.
Yeah, MCPs is definitely the next iteration. Based on what I'm seeing, if you're just like using like go to chatgpt.com or whatever, like if you're like typing into a prompt and getting a response and that's where you are, that's like level 1 of using AI. Like there's a lot more capability that you can get into, and MCPs is definitely like an architectural improvement that is going to be a standard. Roswell UK says, which Star Trek captain do you think you're most like, and who do you wish you were more like? Are you a big, are you well versed in the Star Trek verse?
I am a well versed Trekkie.
Okay, go ahead.
I would say casual Trekkie. I'm trying to think. I think I would rather like to be a Cisco, but I'm more of a. Nah, probably. Yeah, it's probably about right. Where I'm like a little bit of a hard ass, but still like to have fun.
Okay.
But, like, don't want to go out and adventure. Just want to stay home in my own space station and chill.
All right, thank you. I'm not well versed enough in the different captains. I mean, I know Picard and Shatner or whatever, Kirk, but I don't know many of the other ones. I know that there was like Deep Space Nine and Discovery. I don't know enough of the again, true analytical a-hole. Like I need to know the entire set of parameters and variables to choose from. But I'd like to think I'm Kirk, where like I'm well, actually maybe I'm not, because Kirk took risks all the time.
That's what I was gonna say. Picard was more of the safe one. That's like the safe answer.
Okay.
Cisco does a little bit of controversial stuff just because like so if you watch Star Trek, I would highly recommend watching Deep Space Nine. You just got to get like over this like kind of weird sci-fi hump, but the problems in it are a little bit turned up based on like race and all of that type of stuff. Like
it's like a community.
Yeah, it's a community that keeps that he's trying to keep the space station up. That's a community, but like the way Star Trek does it is just like we take problems that are happening on Earth and just put them in a space station with aliens and see what happens.
Well, and I mean that was always Star Trek's thing, right? Star Trek was one of the first ones to like blow out race, right? Because like Uhura in the 60s was kind of controversial, and her and Shatner kissing was like a big deal. So, yeah. All right, questions coming in. And by the way, in chat, if you are a Star Trek person and you have a suggestion on which captain I would be, please drop it in chat, and then I'll allow Wade to thumbs up or thumbs down the particular choice here. Wade, do you have a favorite SOAR tool? I couldn't answer this one because I'm not enough up on it.
Every SOAR tool I've used has taken a lot of manipulation in order to get it to be working in a way that I think is like profitable. So far I've really liked Tines. That would be my one.
Tines is I've heard of Tines. That's kind of like I thought Tines was more like like a Zapier kind of thing, like an automate, like you connect things to do automation.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. Whereas like the other ones I've used, like Swimlane, require a decent amount of Python knowledge in order to do it. It's not as just click and go. But I'm finding that as my security career comes up, my Python knowledge is being more fun. Like me programming, I'm having more fun programming a lot more than doing security stuff sometimes.
And there we go. All right. So great answer. I'm just going to throw these in really quickly. People are saying everything. I'm Reginald Baker or Regnald Barkley. Is that someone? Okay. You're Riker.
Ooh, that's a good one. I could see you being a Riker. Riker is like he still follows the rules, but he's enough of a bad boy to like go and do other things. I like Riker. Whoever said Riker is on bar.
Okay, it's Scout said that, and then Roswell UK, who chimes in a lot, says I'm so Janeway. So, all right. What would you consider a solid cybersecurity foundation? Like you would consider ready to move on to next steps. So my thought on this one is there is no definitive, like you've completed all of the challenges in this world, you can move on to the next world, like video game type thing. Personally, I think understanding networking, not to the level where you need to be able to like configure a router or like a spanning tree protocol or something, but understanding IP address numbering conventions and private versus public and VLANs and stuff like that. Even though you won't do subnetting, go through the trouble of like doing subnetting and how the calculations work. So when you start looking at IPs, you can see, what segment things are on. Then operating systems, I think understanding how like operating systems work in the sense of like writing to disk and running in memory and putting processes on the stack for instruction execution and stuff like that. You don't have to be a full-blown computer architecture expert, but understand, like, at a minimum, you should be able to like kind of put something in a debugger, okay, and have it step through process and just not fully understand what's going on, but understand that it's stepping through. To me, I think that's good. A basic understanding of cloud and why the cloud paradigm is not on-prem in someone else's computer. That's such a misnomer. I think that those are all good, and then you can go to the next phase. And with networking too, understanding like network packets, right, and what network traffic looks like, because that's all day, every day what Wade does. Wade, thoughts on what you would consider a solid?
That was a lot.
Sorry. Cyber's not easy.
I think your programming one, I would go with even less. Like you should be able to open up you should be able to open it up and just see the IOCs, at least from a blue team side, right? You should be looking for hashes and domains and know what it's doing. You can tell like base 64 or any type of encoding just by a glance. Like once you get to a certain stage, you can just look at something and know that's off. It's like reading the Matrix. I'm trying to think anything else. Reading logs is going to be big. I would say reading logs is more important than reading packets. I have never had a company where I've had to read packets to tell you the truth. So being able to understand like, hey, this log is coming from this source, and then knowing like, okay, that should be able to provide me this type of data, and then be able to find it and query it.
There you go. Great information. Fredon wants to know if there's a healthy cereal. Yeah, I mean, most cereals do have sugar in it, but I think there's like basically versions of granola that you pour milk on.
Does oatmeal count as a cereal?
I was going to say oatmeal initially, but every oatmeal I have has sugar baked into it.
Oh, I have the Costco oatmeal. That's just like a huge bag of just oatmeal. Like there's nothing in it. I throw a scoop of peanut butter in that stuff, and that's it.
There you go. Funky Monk, when you download stolen cookies, what do you get? Is it text file? Is it a single file to paste to your browser? That's a great question. I thought cookies were a file, but
not
Wade, what do you see?
Usually when you download when you get them, they are files, and then you insert them into the browser in a way, or you tell your browser, hey, here are the cookies that are running. I know in logic how it works, but in theory, but I've never seen it or done it just because I've never had to. I know how to monitor for it. Looking at file locations.
Mara Levy says, what is your desert island song? A song you can listen to over and over without ever getting sick of it. I'll also parlay this song into what's your desert island beer? Just really quickly. So everybody, if you have a song, drop it in chat. And if you have a beer, drop it in chat. Go ahead. Wade, what song are you going to listen to on repeat?
I think this is going to be, I don't listen to a lot of music. Maybe Iron Man by Black Sabbath. I'm going for more of a classic. Beer. It's either going to be like a peanut butter stout from Belching Beaver, or a Cali Creamin' from Mother Earth Brewery, which are both like two different angles. Yeah.
That is great. Yeah, I like that. For me, the song is going to be by The Midnight, and it would probably be Memories. Although it's a really tough one, but I think I could listen to Memories on repeat forever. And then the beer one, that is really tough. I'm just to be a complete nerd, right? Like if we're thinking desert island, it's probably going to be hot, right? So as much as I would really like a Great Divide Yeti oatmeal stout, I don't know if I'd want to, have that on the beach. A solid IPA would be pretty dope. I think I might go. Damn, dude, that's a really, really tough one.
The smarter move would probably be like Corona, something that's not going to get you really drunk all the time, but you can drink a lot of it, right, to hydrate you.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, actually, yeah, Bud Light, hydration beer. I might go Bound by Time by Edmund Zost as my solid go-to, but then I'll secretly have a stash of Great Divide Yeti Oak. All right, let's go. Let's go. I got to tell you, huge fan of Costco. Huge, like you mentioned Costco a minute ago. I'm a huge fan of Costco. I love myself some Costco. We go to Costco more often than I'd like to admit.
There's one like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes from my house. Like if you could just walk straight there, it's probably like 600 yards. If I didn't have to like go down a hill and come back. And the scary part is like you can order from Costco, right? From their like grocery store. If I order from there,
like you can like
you can
pick
do
up?
online. Yeah, no, online orders. They'll come bring it to you. It's like an Instacart thing.
I didn't know that. Like we've ordered from Costco and it gets delivered like FedEx. I'm not familiar of the Instacart type thing. This might unlock a whole new level of Costco.
So go log into the Costco website, look for like the instant delivery, and they have an Instacart person go over there and grab your groceries and then bring it to you. It comes within 30 minutes, usually.
I'm just, I play the outro like, we gotta go.
You're gone.
Oh, that's so fun. All right, hey, let's keep going here. Daniel Lowry said he's been getting into Python. That's great. Roswell UK says, Dr. Jerry, learning AI. Are you documenting what you're doing or just playing what you're doing with it? Yeah, so for those who know that I've been exploring this thing, right now I'm not documenting anything simply because I'm still in kind of the divergence phase where I'm consuming in a lot of different things. I said this to Perry. I had a call with Perry Carpenter yesterday, who is really like well-versed in AI. And I said, like, it's almost like the parallel that I'm coming up with is that AI is a lot like cyber in that it is so wide that you can't just like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to study AI. It's like there's so much to it, whether you're going to do like generative AI or you're going to do like study like LLMs and these type of things. And then there's like AIs that do coding versus AIs that do writing versus specialized AIs that do like things that are very nuanced. So right now for where I am, I'll just tell you, I'm still in the divergence phase where I'm like laying everything out on the table and trying to figure out what's good and what's not. I'm currently looking at, and I can, I'll share this, but like what I'm currently looking at is there is a automation engine, for lack of a better term, called N8N. A lot of people are familiar with N8N. A lot of people are familiar with make.com. It's basically like an abstraction layer. Have you played with either of these, Wade?
No, I haven't heard of either of them.
So basically it's an abstraction layer up where you can develop these like automation workflows, kind of like a SOAR, frankly. And each piece can do something, but you can have AI pieces in it. So what I'm currently looking at is using N8N to build workflows that do certain things for Simply Cyber. But here's the cool thing. You can take the essentially the programming schema from N8N because it's documented. You can upload it to Claude, for example, in a project. Then you can take your business and everything about your business and upload that as an artifact into Claude. And then you could say, hey, here's my business. Here's this automation tool thing. Write me in JSON a schema that will allow me to do better marketing, better communication, better engagement, like whatever you want, and it'll deploy this JSON, and then you can upload the JSON into N8N, and it'll build the entire workflows out, and then you just go in and add your API keys and stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now. Every time I go to do something in AI, I realize like what I'm doing is almost too manual. Like there's an abstraction above it that AI can help me do. So it's almost like an inverted Russian doll. Like I'm like working on the tiny doll and I'm like, oh, there's actually a bigger one you can put it inside of and encapsulate it. So that's where I am right now with my AI research. But I am definitely, I'm scared is not the right word because I'm not scared about workforce displacement and stuff like that. I'm scared right now that I'm not learning AI fast enough to stay current with the median average practitioner, as it were. I think AI is that valuable and that important a skill to incorporate into your everything that I'm being driven by fear, which is completely insane, but that's what's up.
I'll give you a fear one. So one of my buddies, David French, we interviewed him on Simply Defensive. He works over at Google SecOps, and he's been messing around with stuff a lot. Google SecOps is what is Chronicle, Google SEM, and he was able to hook up an MCP server to it. It would go and read all of his tickets of all the triages people did, and then look at them and be like, okay, which ones need to be tuned, and then give you the tunes that need to be done to the detections, and then push the tunes for you.
Yeah.
So I was like, you don't need to release this. This is okay. Don't release this.
I will say there is a general push right now. There's definitely a vibe. I don't know if it's honestly, this might sound a little tinfoil hat. I don't know if this is a population control type thing or if this is true, but there's definitely an overarching push that there's human in the loop, right? You'll hear that term quite a bit, human in the loop. And the idea is that, like he just said, AI goes out, reads all these tickets, writes all the detections, pushes the detections to prod. You don't need a human in the loop to do that, but they're putting a human right before the push to prod button to make sure that things don't break. But I mean, if you 100 out of 100 times push to prod, that means you've got high confidence that this thing is constantly pumping out the right stuff. So at some point, human in the loop doesn't need to be there. And it's probably based on my jaded history. I worked for a company called Bearing Point, which was the KPMG consulting arm once Sarbanes-Oxley happened and they split the accounting firms and the consulting firms out to prevent conflict of interest. And Bearing Point went bankrupt. Now, this was like a 45,000 person, massive, multi-billion-dollar company. And right up until the day we got pink slipped, right up until the day, like the day before, the CEO had an all-hands call where he was talking about everything's amazing, everything's awesome, we're going to recover, don't sweat it. And then the next day, it was like, nope. You know what I mean? So I hate to sound so cynical, but population control is a thing. Like don't panic, everyone. Everything's fine. While we maneuver these things in place, nothing to see here. So I feel like your dad might want to chime in on this.
Oh, he is great. He changes tires on big rigs. That's never even when they automate those tires are still going to need to be changed.
Yeah, exactly.
He's good.
For consulting as a side hustle, would system or SysP be more appropriate? Do clients care about certs? Wade, you have side hustle, yeah.
I do have consulting. I don't have either. Neither. They did not care about certs at all for me. They looked me up and now they're like, oh yeah, this guy looks cool. I think it's more of reputation and experience, like how many years you have, and then how you can speak to their problem. The other big thing is like finding the clients, right? That's the hard part about side hustling. I have had them almost always suggested to me, or someone suggested me to them.
Inbound, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 100%. Just my thoughts on this, because I also have a consulting practice. The people that you're helping, they don't know what those certs mean. We know what they mean. You could argue that CISSP might be more valuable just because it gives you a broader range of knowledge, but they're not going to care. It really is about performance and can you do it. Also, to Wade's point, getting work is really the challenge, getting started. Again, I would just say your best practice for getting started would be offering free work in exchange for a testimonial, an honest testimonial. Say, hey, if I suck, write a testimonial that says I suck, and then just over deliver your face off. Get great testimonials. And by doing that, not only will you have testimonials, but the people who you're helping, the 5 businesses that you help, a lot of business owners talk to other business owners, and they will be your inbound. That'll be your pipeline. Just as a pro tip. Let's see. Looking at chat. Were you a big Tool fan? Elliot Matisse is all up in Tool's face right now. Do you like Tool?
Yeah, I do like Tool. I liked them in my younger days. I haven't listened to them now. I have to be in a mood to listen to Tool.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about, the band, right? Making sure.
Yeah, Tool the band, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Schism,
like Tool,
right?
like 9 Inch Nails, Tool. That was like a late 90s run there.
Perfect Circle. They're in the same thing. My dad was into Tool going back to him. Yeah, super into Tool. He's who gave me my weird taste in music. I'll listen to anything, but I'm not really like hyper focused. Like my first 2 CDs were Kid Rock and NSYNC.
Wow, that is
same day.
Didn't have that on my bingo card.
Yeah.
My first cassette was an Anthrax album. I don't even remember which one. And then my first CD was the Boomerang soundtrack. I got it for Christmas. Boomerang, a movie that was completely inappropriate for me at the time, starring Eddie Murphy. Not a comedy either. He's just like a player and whatever. And then like Hot Sex on a Platter was on that album by Tribe Called Quest, just to put it in perspective.
How old were you?
Probably 11. Yeah. Would you prefer becoming an expert in offensive security first before you learn defense, or vice versa? Good question.
I think it's harder to become an expert in offensive security because it's harder to get an offensive security job.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
I would agree 100% on that. That's exactly what I was thinking. Defensive ops is much easier to get work in.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. Oh, that's not a question for us. That's a question for Brews and Hex. All right, continuing to look here. People have embraced your echo, which is hilarious. I love it. All right, so those are all the current questions. If you do have questions, drop them in chat. We're being joined here by Wade Wells, myself. I'm Jerry Guy, as it were. Yeah, let's see, man. Wait, what you got a favorite movie? What's a movie that if you like, let me ask you this question, because this happens a lot. If you're flipping through the channels and you come across a movie and you're just like, you've probably seen it before, you just can't turn the channel, and then you're just there. What do you got?
Yeah. It's kind of a weird one. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay.
So
that's the guy with Michael Cera, right?
Yeah, it's got Michael Cera, but I'm a big like Edgar Wright fan, who's the director of that. I like the way he edits and the way he transitions scenes. Like he also did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, a couple others out there. But in his movies, he's also very good at hiding little things in the back always. So like I can watch that movie and still see stuff I've never seen before, and I've been watching it for over 10 years.
Oh, that's like a nice nod to the viewer.
Yeah, I like when they re-released it. I actually went to the movie theaters and saw it. Plus it's like a good like feel good movie. Like at first he's doing it for like love, and then at the end of it he's really doing it for like self-respect. He realized it's like beyond that. So overall it's a great one. A lot of good movie stars in that too that later on became much more famous.
Yeah, Michael Cera definitely has a very specific archetype that he slots into. I thought he was great in him and Jesse Eisenberg. I feel like are kind of like one and the same. But yeah, Michael Cera's Superbad is a really great movie.
Oh yeah.
We're seeing people in chat right now talk about their movies: Hackers, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Fight Club. There's a lot of options, but Shawshank Redemption grabs me. Like sometimes I'll actually be super upset if I flip onto Shawshank and it's like Andy Dufresne is just showing up at the prison because I'm like I got 2 hours now that I've just lost, right? Like. Oh my God.
Shawshank's good. I can't remember the last time I watched it in full.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Just because it is that long. Yeah.
Great casting on Shawshank as well. Like the warden was great cast. The chief security guard was great.
Boondocks. Edge of Tomorrow, that is a good one too.
Edge of Tomorrow does have a lot of replay. Do you continuously monitor all critical systems and retain the recorded events for at least 6 months? There you go.
You should be.
How do you deal with... Okay, so let me ask you this. One of the big realities that I think students don't capture is that logs take up space. Space is what gets charged. So, how do you 6 months is a lot of data, dude. Like, what is your guidance for like architecting your log structure?
Usually you're going to pick like your most critical data sources, right? The stuff that you are going to need in that 6 months if some type of breach were to occur. Now you never know, like there may be some weird off log source that you're going to have to like figure out. But usually you're going to have your priority log sources that you think are the most important, which are probably like a couple 5 or 10 different sources, and storing them longer than everything else, right? That's the smart thing to do. A lot of larger organizations will keep everything for a year if they can actually flip the money for it. That's the normal. But every now and then, like you'll get to some log source like, hey, we only have like 1 week worth of data in this, and you're like, great. So it's just for like literally current investigations. And then a lot of the times if something is happening and I need those logs from a current investigation, I'll immediately export them after I find something good. So either then we can replay them or we can look at them later when they roll over. It's people don't realize how much like logs cost. And the other interesting part is like if you're in a SEM and it's not just securities, it's overall the entire companies, then like priorities shift to developers usually.
Yeah, that's a great point. A lot of people think of, especially in our industry, like SIMs are for security logs, but SIMs can be used for like basically operational performance, analytics, these type of things. So, if you have a suspected incident or an active incident and the logs only go back a week, I mean, do you just transfer into like monitoring phase where now you're just kind of watching, or you increase detection and you watch for like more activity?
That, or you would go more to a forensics route, right? You're going to try to, if whatever hosts they're on, you're going to try to actually like go and grab objects from the host that you know that may contain more data or may contain more detailed information, like prefetch files or like execution files, memory, if you can grab it, right? If you can't look in the back, you want to get as detailed as possible to see what they're doing then. But
speaking of prefetch files, this is a very specific thing, but I do want to share this. Hold on, let me share this right now. I'll drop a link to this in chat. I don't know if you know about this, but Eric Capuano, who is a Eric Capuano and Whitney Champion, they're like, like a tag team. They are phenomenal blue team operators, okay? And Eric has a blog, and he actually has a whole blog right up on prefetch analysis. And it's a lab on how to do it and what prefetch is and why it's important. I bring it up because Wade just mentioned it. Here is the entire lab guide that you can download or review and actually step through a prefetch lab, okay? So, Wade, let me just ask you, as a practitioner, would it be valuable for people to understand what prefetch is and how to do it and what analysis is? Do you think that's like something that would be great for an entry-level SOC, or is it more advanced? Like if you're currently in a SOC and you're looking to get promoted, understanding prefetch?
It's definitely more advanced. I have looked at prefetch a handful of times in my career, just because I haven't worked IR, right, as much. I've done engagements and stuff like that, but it hasn't been my primary job. If that was your primary job, you should know how to look at prefetch. I would say as long as that lab is pretty easy, I would say go and do it, because it is very good information. And if you do come to a point where you're like, hey, we're out of info, we need to start grabbing host forensics, that is like one of the first things you're going to go grab. And it's not hard. There's open source tools for it, which is also the best. You don't have to pay much. So highly suggest at least understanding the mechanics around it and what you can get from it. You don't necessarily need to be a master of it right now.
Perfect. Well, there you go. Words of wisdom from Wade around prefetch. So nice little weekend project if you're looking for something. Hey, somebody mentioned Zombieland as their favorite movie to catch. Is Zombieland directed by that same guy that you like? Because I feel like Zombieland has a lot of those it
does have a lot of those good transitions. You're right.
Yeah. Like when Jesse Eisenberg's running around explaining the rules, and he's running around the gas station. Yeah.
No, it is not. It is not by the same director, but that guy's directed some good stuff.
I love it. Oracle Cron over on Discord says, "What do you think a good pathway to becoming a security researcher is?" For me, I would suggest, getting comfortable with IDA. I mean, I know that this is like starting on step 7 of a 7-step process, but like getting familiar with like file formats, specifically the PE header and the PE file format protocol. You should be able to look at like a Windows executable or whatever, even not malware, just like put calc inside of IDA and look at it, and you'll see like the 4D5A, the magic fingerprint.
I can't remember right now. I know what you're talking about. Right.
Need to follow up a Simply Hot Ones challenge. There we go. Derek with the super chat. Thanks, Derek. Wanting us to blow our mouths out. So if I was going to become a security researcher, what I would do is I would actually I bet you anything Josh Stroshine on his Cyber Yeti channel, Oracle Cron, has walkthroughs where you can pull down the malware and you can step through step by step with him analyzing it. I would also strongly suggest learning assembly. You don't got to be able to program a slot machine application in assembly, but understanding what assembly looks like and understanding basic computer architecture, like what registers are, what the instruction pointer, stack pointer, what frames are, those type of things. Again, it depends on what kind of security research you're doing. If you're going to become a web application security researcher, that's much different. But when I hear when you hear the term security researcher, Wade, what does that look like in your mind?
For me, that's the question, right? For me, it's someone who's researching threat actors and trying to track them and what they're doing, and then like writing blog posts about like, hey, we saw these guys perform this hack, and this is how you would defend it.
Wow. Okay. So there you go. I mean, even something as simple as the term security researcher evokes different things. So you got to be more specific. Wade's thinking threat actor, cyber threat intelligence, and I'm thinking, deep dive on compiled binaries. So.
Well, and both are the same thing. Like I know people who do both of those for. Usually, like if you're going to do security research too, you got to work either for a cybersecurity company or for some like gnarly conglomerate that can pay for security research, or it's looking for clout to push information out.
Curtis says, any suggestions for training for IR development? I would say do tabletop exercises. That's what I would say. Find the gaps in the tabletop exercises. And honestly, Curtis, if you're not employed at a business where you can execute tabletop exercises, start thinking about them from your own personal home, right? I mean, like, let's say, your home network, like, what are you dependent on? I mean, are you dependent on your Ring doorbell for security or closed circuit TVs or, certain applications, like run through tabletop exercises, right? What if you get a notification, a legit one, that your, 401k account's been breached? Like, what's that look like? Thoughts, Wade?
I guess it depends on what you're going for. I hate saying it depends, but
sorry, just qualify.
My first one is like backdoors and breaches, right? That always is fun. If you're going for the tabletop exercise part. The other stuff, I'm trying to think of another good class that I know that would be able to do this. Antisyphon definitely has a couple courses on it, and then Eric Capistrano, right? Like he's got plenty of stuff that would fall into this mix. For policy, plans, and procedure stuff, I don't have any like direct resources for it, but I could just Google a couple of people and find at least like a good pre-written plan.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't sweat policy too much because, I mean, like, that's super high-level generic. And, like, when you need to execute IR, and I'm a GRC person, and I'll say this. When you're going to execute IR, like, like, things are hitting the fan, no one wants to see a policy. People don't want the policy on how a fire extinguisher is supposed to be used. They want the fire extinguisher now.
Learn how to write short, if that makes sense. Like, short precise descriptions for IR plans. That's the one thing that I don't want to read a novel if I'm going through an IR engagement. They're like, oh, follow the plan for communication steps. And I'm like, this thing's like 3 pages long. Like I have to like look for malware while writing this communication and then read this. Like this is ridiculous. That's one suggestion.
Kyle points out in chat, CISA and NIST have good IR guides. That is true.
Yep.
It is going to be very voluminous, the NIST guidelines on IR, but it is a great place to start. You got a favorite sim? Easy Does It wants to know, Wade.
I think it's kind of, Splunk.
There you go.
I used Splunk my entire career. I got really lucky, to tell you the truth. Cisco hasn't destroyed it yet. But I'm no longer using Splunk. This is the first time in my career, since very, very beginning of using the SEM, that I'm not using Splunk.
I just want to
learning curve.
Following the footsteps of that, I just want to let everybody know that Mick Baccio is my guest next Thursday on Simply Cyber Firesides, Global Security Advisor at Splunk. So come check that out. He's a really cool dude. He's been like a DEF CON goon for like 10 years. I interviewed him at RSA, and he's just like super cool.
I saw that interview. I saw the interview at RSA. He did seem super cool.
He's very cool. I was like, as soon as I got off camera with him, like, dude, you've got to come hang out. I gave here's how you can tell he was cool. Not that this is like the only way to tell, but like we get off the camera and I'm like, hold on. I get off the camera and I'm like, dude, here's my sticker. And he's like, bro. And he like pulls out like his own, and it's like a raccoon in a dumpster, like working on a keyboard. He's like, here's mine. And we like high five, like we did like some like magical high five. And I'm like, you got to come on my show. He's like, let's do it. So yeah, super cool dude. For me, favorite sim, Kibana, but it's because it's what I've been using, you know.
Bold statement. Well,
it's what I got in my home environment. Security Onion, right? What tool manages the logs? What tool to manage logs? I guess, Wade, I mean, this is kind of a tricky question.
Yeah, that's such an open, it's like what sandwich have? Like not even like
We're not laughing at you, Runfish. I'm sorry, that may have felt like we were laughing at you. The question is funny. Let's qualify why the question is funny. Let's rephrase the question so it adds value to people, Wade, and then let's answer it.
So to manage, like, there's different ways to manage logs and different ways to look at logs, right? You could throw them literally on a computer and use command line grep to go through the logs and look and manage them just via that way. You can throw them into some type of data lake in the cloud. And every single big cloud provider has some type of large query system to then query them via the data lake and manage them that. You then, if you mean manage them, like to get into one of those resources, you can use something like Cribble to then dissect the logs or at least precondition them to what you want in order to save up on space. You can throw them in a SEM like Splunk or Kibana or what's another, Gravwell, all those ones, Datadog, right? So many ways. You could, I can keep going forever. There's other command line tools like to use it, right? Strings. That's always a crazy one to look at logs. Jonathan Ham, J Ham, if you look him up, he's got some gnarly investigations, and all he uses is strings. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, strings is really good in CTFs as well.
Yeah.
I just put a comment in chat. I do want to bring it up on stage as well because I do feel it is a foundational underpinning of Simply Cyber. To Runfish, I apologize because I did laugh. There are no stupid questions. There are not. I want everyone to feel super comfortable asking questions. And that was a great question, and I'm glad it gave us the opportunity to qualify these things. So
it was just a very broad question. That was it, yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you got an answer as well as an understanding on why the question was broad and helping refine that question in the future. Okay. On a movie topic, Haircut Fish. As a youth, what movie did you find yourself watching on a Saturday morning that came on cable to me? For me, it was Barbarella on Sci-Fi.
Barbarella. I thought that was a TV show, not a movie. I don't know. Wasn't that the Pamela Anderson one?
I don't know. It sounds like it. A young haircut fish sitting 3 inches from the screen.
I didn't have cable for so long as a kid. And then when I got cable, it allegedly was illicitly.
Did you have the old A/B switcher and you quickly move it back and forth to defuzz the lines? Is that you, guy?
No. We knew someone who knew about cable, and they would climb up the cable box and just go hook you up, and no one would ever know.
Oh, you had one of those people.
I'm trying to think of a good kids. Wayne's World was always my favorite movie as a kid. One of those movies I probably shouldn't be watching, just like Jerry, right? But it was halfway because his name was close to mine.
I love it. For me, it was The Explorers. That one kind of came up quite a bit. That was the one with like the 3 kids. They basically made like a spaceship out of trash in their backyard and took off. Are you familiar with that one?
It sounds familiar. I remember. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, it was like a young River Phoenix, Ethan Hawke. I mean, like the kid stars coming out of the 80s were pretty intense. But yeah, they did this. There was like a whole movement like post E.T. E.T. was hot. So then there was like Explorers, Flight of the Navigator, which Flight of the Navigator absolutely does not hold up. I actually loathe that movie. I tried watching it with my kids the other day. I'm like, this is dead on arrival. There was Cloak and Dagger. Do you remember Cloak and Dagger?
No.
Bro, were you born in like you're definitely younger than me. Dude, Cloak and Dagger was sick. The kid basically gets an Atari video game and it has like intellectual, like basically stealth bomber plans buried in a hidden file. And if you beat like level 37 and do some type of Easter egg thing, it would disclose the blueprints. And like, advanced persistent threat actors are like after the kid, and the kid's got like an imaginary colonel who's like can shoot things. It was sick. Oh, so good. They should remake that movie.
It reminds me of the Last Defender, the Last Starfighter.
Oh, Last Starfighter, yeah. Dude, the blend of arcade and sci-fi was like very hot in the 80s.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
I couldn't get past the guy on Last Starfighter who looked like a derivative of Admiral Akbar.
I'll give a little maybe not TMI, but a little deep in my path. I was afraid of being abducted by aliens up until I was like 13, like deathly scared of aliens, and I halfway blamed the X-Files for that. Which after I conquered that fear, the X-Files became like my favorite show. But like I grew up in the middle of nowhere too, and I'm like, if anyone's gonna be abducted, it's gonna be me. We're literally miles away from everyone. I'm in the mountains. There's weird stuff in the sky all the time, which I later found out were like we weren't too far away from a Air Force base. So
that'll do it. Here we got. Let me see where Daniel Lowry is. 3 minutes until Daniel Lowry IRL. So we got a couple more options here for answering questions. I don't think I ever had any deep-seated fears. I will say, like, looking back, I don't really get into all this very often, but I have to say it to set it up. So for those who don't know, and I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that, my mom died when I was 8. So my dad worked nights. So it was not uncommon for me to like go to bed at night in an empty house as a young child, which is like, you know what I mean? Like that's like really concerning. And that I remember being like super geeked out about that for a while. So that was one fear, and it was much more like every creak, and this is like pre-cell phone days, right? So like you call your dad on like a rotary phone, they like page him at work, and you're like, I just want to say hi. He's like, go to bed.
Dude, I did that. That was scary.
Yeah. What was your favorite childhood cartoon? Last question, then we're going to jump over to Cyber IRL.
That is so not. I have to like think back to so many things. I'm trying to think of one that I was trying to watch with my son.
Depends on the age too, right? Like I remember Gummy Bears was super hot, but I was like older. Not older, but like 10. Gummy Bears was not hot.
That's more definitely more you. I watched Gummy Bears, but it wasn't as gnarly. It wasn't as popular. I'm not gonna lie. I cheated and Googled early '90s cartoons to see stuff. Hey Arnold was definitely up there, but now I'm thinking about the original Batman, the Dark Knight.
Ooh, good. That one actually has like long legs too.
Yeah, and it's dark. It's dark, but still cool with kids, right? Like my dad used to watch it with me. I remember that.
I think I might go. I had a really healthy addiction to G.I. Joe and Thundercats. Although Thundercats is kind of messed up because when you realize that Lino, the main character is actually a child in an adult's body, but he's like there was some dodginess there. But yeah, G.I. Joe was pretty lit, like very easy. There was like the action figures later on, and very clear who was the good guy and who was the bad guy. They introduced like Serpentor, and that kind of went off the rails. That was jumping the shark for me. But Cobra Commander, whatever the Chrome Dome guy was, and the woman assassin, yeah, G.I. Joe for the win. Oh, Transformers, OG Transformers, that's a good one. Voltron, Jesus. I know we're talking two different generations right now, Wade, but
yeah,
Google what I'm saying right now. It's hot. All right, Wade, any final thoughts for community here?
No, I'm gonna be gone for a while, so if you don't see me for a while, that's why. I'm not
okay, Wade Wells signing off officially. Dude, enjoy your experience, enjoy your travel, enjoy yourself. If you need anything, just DM me. Like I could be the guy in the chair, Wade.
Okay.
I know you got a lot of people, but if you need something, just let me know. I'm here for you.
Usually Wade's the guy in the chair. That's the crazy part, right?
Yep. But hey, even the guy in the chair needs a guy in the chair sometime. All right, everybody, I'm going to drop a link for IRL Raid right now. Daniel Lowry, the Monster Energy drinker himself. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. He's Wade. I do want to say thank you for choosing to spend time with us today right before you take off. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. And until next time, stay secure.